Well, let me officially welcome you again because, we have an opportunity here to introduce you to my audience. They've heard me for the month of June or since we met, whenever that was, just pretty much talk up top roofing, but nothing beats having a person that represents it, being able to tag someone to the actual product, to the actual service, to the business. And so I'm glad you could make the time today. Tell us about a little bit about up top roofing historically. Well, it's not just a roofing company, by the way. You do offer siding, gutters, and other stuff. So just give us the little historical perspective um, of up top roofing.
Okay, yeah. So Uptop Roofing was created back in 2008, right when Katrina came, and we had the big storm that we had, and we had all of this damage that hit Atlanta, and a lot of people that I knew had damage on their homes. But at the time, I was in New Orleans, and once I came back to Atlanta, that's when we kind of had that big storm. So once that happened, I was like, hey, I think I can move my service from New Orleans back to Atlanta and help out my homeowners here in Atlanta. So what we did, we created Uptop Roofing of Atlanta. We went out and we got it branded, and we started going around just pretty much doing a community service. We go around and educate our homeowners about the process with insurance claims, because before I got into this business, I had to study insurance claims so that I would know everything that I could to be able to help the homeowner. So we would educate our homeowners on the process from A to B, and it went really successful. And this was about going on 14 years now. So we've been in the business a while. We've been around. We've been doing everything that we needed to do for the insurance company and the homeowner. So that right now they have me A+ rated on the Better Business Bureau, because we go out and we pretty much do what we say we're gonna do.
I love that. And one of the great things about this conversation, I'm loading your up top roofing truck there picture so folks can have a visual of the number and all that while we're talking. Yeah, there it is beneath us there, up top roofing, ladies and gentlemen. You mentioned something very important just now that I really want to share with the audience. That first of all, ladies and gentlemen, I used this roofing company. That's how we met. I used Up Top Roofing, and I gave him a hard time because I was testing him in every way. And so when I tell you he stepped up, this man worked so well with me. He even left me tools that I could use if I needed to, if there was ever anything wrong. And I never had to use them. That's how much he wanted to make sure I was good.
No
And
doubt.
and I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, we all have different lives. We all are busy. And when you find an expert in an area who can take you from start to finish and beyond, it is priceless. And that's what Uptop Roofing did for me. You mentioned the insurance process. You literally schooled me on that. So share with the audience how important it is for coming to a roofing company like yours that can actually walk them through the insurance process.
Well, basically, the insurance process is once you get some storm on your home, you will probably, find a sign that you can call, or maybe you will go on the internet and try and find a company. So just say you contacted Up Top Roofing, and we come to your home. First of all, we would do the home free inspection. And if it's not an insurance claim, we give you a free estimate on the small repairs. But if it is an insurance claim, we basically will call the insurance company right beside you. We will let the insurance company know that you have some type of storm damage on the property, and they're going to ask us a series of questions like, what was the date of loss? They're going to ask you, is the home safe? They're going to ask you, is any damage to the exterior or the interior of the home. So we will let them know all of those things there. They would document that. They will actually tell the homeowner that they're going to send someone out to take
Yes.
them through the process. So, but at that time, what Up Top and Roofing do before we do anything, we always ask our homeowner, Are they comfortable with our company to use us? We have them sign our contract. We actually go into the process with the insurance company. They're going to come out and do the inspection. So whether they say that we're going to replace the roof or repair it, based on your deductible, and that's a big thing here now in Georgia. Always check your deductible, because that's very key. Because now they're going up real high, and some of them are actually 1% of your home price. So it's
Wow,
a lot of things that you need to know.
great
So
info.
we know all of those information. So whether you use our service or not, we most definitely have make sure that you have everything that you need to be successful and to make your home whole again.
Man, that's great to know. And ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly how it went for me using Uptop Roofing. And also, tell us about the product part of it because you were able to walk me through a variety. I didn't even know we had so many different choices in shingles and all that stuff. So you were able to just leave me some, and I was able to take my time and process it. Talk to us about how you assist with the actual product selection for the homes or the
Okay, well,
different
excellent.
customers.
Well, what we always do is bring out a shingle chart, because now most homes they have a 20-year shingle on it, because most roofs are over 15 years of age right about now. And that is the threshold for the insurance company. But nevertheless, you more than likely got a 20-year shingle. So, but when you get your roof replaced, what we always do is bring out a shingle chart, because we most definitely going to give you the upgrade, which is a 30-year lifetime architectural shingle. And generally, what we would do is leave that brochure with you, so that if you have a spouse, you guys could go outside and take a look at your home in the sun with the chart, so that you can let the reflection off of the sun hit the chart, and that would help you coordinate your eyes with the color that you want to put on your home based on the color of your home. So it all works together. So we allow you to go through that process, and once you determine that this is the one, and I always tell all my male homeowners, if you got a wife, make sure you let her come out there and pick that color out, man. Don't you put that color up there, and she every time y'all pull up, she gonna be like, "Hey, I told you." Okay, so but that's what we do when it's a team. But if it's one person, we do the same process with just one person. But then we will go back, and once they decide that color, we will actually put it on the contract, so that they would know what color that they actually ask for, and then we take them through the rest of the process. So it's pretty simple. I make sure that everybody is comfortable. That it's never a rushing process, to pick a color or to get the work done. You always got time to sit back, because doing insurance claims, it is about a 3 week process. But since we are having all these storms here lately, sometimes the process could go up to 45 days. But
Okay.
it's not anything on the homeowner, because once we commit to doing the claim, we pretty much have to fund everything and have to wait on our funds on the back end. So the homeowner has no responsibility other than their deductible. But nevertheless, it's an easy process.
That's good to know. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're speaking with Mr. Alvin Johnson, owner of Uptop Roofing, for your siding and gutter needs. Talk to us about the variety you bring because it's not just roofing.
Okay, well, we do homeowners. We clean gutters. Actually, anytime we install a new roof, you actually get a free gutter cleaning. But we also install siding, because a lot of times when that wind hit the side of your home, and most people got vinyl siding, so it pulls it apart. So we can actually replace that. But now some insurance companies, if it's missing, they a lot of times they don't want to match it. So what we always shoot for, if more than say 15 pieces that's been damaged on that side, we'll try and ask them will they allow us to do a supplement to replace the whole side, so that your house will actually look the same, because nobody wants a tic-tac-toe home. So that
Right.
is something that sometimes we have to fight with the insurance company about it. But those are some of the small things that I specialize in. So they have a this is a we used to be a matching state, meaning that if it didn't match, they would actually do, they have to really do it all. But now they've been changing it here lately, because it's now it's not a matching state anymore. So it's a little bit of a process. But with insurance companies, they are great people, and they will do what they need to do if it's warranted. So what I try and do is make sure that the homeowner knows the threshold for all of these processes, along with the gutters. Sometimes, if the roof get damaged in a limb, if it hit the gutters and it damaged the gutters to a certain extent, they will need to be replaced because you can't just replace that one gutter. Most of the time, the insurance company will actually replace all of your gutters. So those are some of the small things that you may need, and those are called supplements, meaning that they're not actually going to pay us for it until we install it. That's just part of the process. But I'm acclimated to it all, so I just make sure I take everybody from A to Z. So at the end of the day, they're super happy about the process.
Talk to us about how we can contact Uptop Roofing. Is there a website? Can we see reviews, feedback?
Oh my God, man! Look, let me tell you guys something. I've done over probably 6,000 customers over a 14-year period, but my company has always went on word of mouth. I've never used social media. I never really uh, on no kind of. I'm not, I've just begun to get on social media, and I've been with the Better Business Bureau for about 12 years. And so my rep called me one day. He was like, "Hey man, do you know that you are 5.2 on Google, but you have no reviews?" So I was like, he was like, "Man, if you wasn't just do," he was like, "Most companies don't have no more than 3 reviews on the Better Business Bureau, contracting companies." He said, "Man," he said, "if you was to do just 10, you'll start getting phone calls." So I decided that I would actually, do some reviews. Man, I put 10 on there. I called this guy. He was amazed. He was like, "Dude, you got 10 reviews." He was like, "If you get 30, man, it'll just be all over. You get a thousand phone calls." So I've been ramping up that. So all of my homeowners now, once I complete it, I ask them to give me a review. So I have an app that I would send them to them, and they just fill it out. Whether my service is
Awesome.
good or bad. But if you wanted to contact me, my number is 678-760-9543. Again,
And
that is
there it is
six
on the
eight
truck.
760-9543. Also, you can reach me at Uptop Roofing of ATL at Yahoo. I don't actually have a page, but I have a ton of photos and a ton of references. So, but I'm actually about to do a like a big campaign. So I'm going to be on all of the streams, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp. I'm just going to do a blast on all of them just to put some of the work that I do out there. Maybe you guys will see it. If you do, just give me a thumbs up.
That's right. And right now you're on TikTok. You're on two Facebook pages, my personal and the Wayne All Show radio page. You're on Twitch. You're also on YouTube live as
Excellent.
well. So there are quite a few individuals watching you. And then we also have others who are listening on a lot of radio stations. And so it's a pleasure to share a company that I've experienced, ladies and gentlemen, and can confidently say you're in great hands. You're in great hands with Uptop Roofing. Is there anything else you want to add that I might not have asked, my brother?
I think Wayne, you're a professional, man. You cover all your corners, so it ain't nothing else I can actually even say. But one thing I will say, I am honored to be here, and at Up Top Roofing, we always pretty much we have an honor system where we have to do what's right for every single customer, and we're always in the middle. We work with the insurance company, we work with the homeowner, so we always stay in the middle of the conversation. So if you got somebody standing in the middle, you always get the best outcome rather than someone laying on your side when they know that it's wrong, whether it's either side. So what I try to do is be the voice of reason for the homeowners and the insurance company as well. So with that being said, all adjusters love me. Insurance companies, they have much respect for me, and I have respect for them as well, just as every homeowner that I've been able to be blessed with to step on their property. But I appreciate you guys and the time that you've given me this evening.
I feel a little tempted to say that I want to put this out there. You will make it happen. I know you will. But anybody who calls you based on this conversation tonight and says, I saw you on the Wayne Hall show, he said in the interview, you would work out some kind of discount for me. I don't care if it's 0.00010%. That if you call 678-760-9543 and reference this conversation, Mr. Johnson at Uptop Roofing is gonna work with you on something special along the way. I'm not promising you no big percentage off or anything. It's rough on everybody, but I'm guarantee you if you call right now 678-760-9543 and say, I saw your interview. I saw where if we called, you'd work something into the deal for us. I have a roof, or I have siding, or I have gutters that need to be cleaned, whatever. Hey, reference this conversation on the Wayne Hall Show, because this is a great gentleman who does an awesome job. Let me tell you, there's also the schooling part. You know, you like, we're all in that zone when we do something with different. When I changed my
Yes.
roof and I saw a little mark somewhere, I said, oh my gosh. And you came out, man. You got up there with your ladder and you came back down and you said, look, it's your vents. It's the way they, and so I appreciated that. We were able to deal with
Yeah.
that from a different angle. So it's a lot that comes with a good company. You didn't just sit
Yes.
back and say,
Yes.
hey, I know my roofing job was good, man. I'm not wasting time to come out there, man,
Yeah. Yeah.
and look at
Exactly.
anything. No, you came right on out, put that
Yeah.
ladder out,
Yes.
went up there and came back down and said, hey, it's not us. I'm happy to say.
And,
But
and
here's
one
what's
other
happening.
thing, and one
Yeah.
other thing to add, if we're actually late on an appointment, because I know everybody time is important. I always have to bring them a gift certificate. That's just what I do now. Yeah, that comes straight out of my pocket. I do that, and what that does, it keeps me on point, and it lets someone know that you're sincere about their time as well. So that's something that I do.
Wow. A gift certificate if you're late. Ladies and gentlemen, it gets no better than this. So I encourage you all, take this number down. The thing about a roofing company is you think you don't need them, then when you need them, you really need them. So
Now,
have this number handy: 678-760-9543. All right? And tell them you heard about them on the Wayne Hall Show. You need to do that. All right? We're pushing this, welcoming him into our neighborhood, into our community, because he deserves to have your service. He deserves to have your business, sorry, because he gives a great service. Mr. Alvin Johnson, thank you for your time this evening.
yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
All
Right.
right, you take care.
All right. Thank you.
You can find countless roofing companies in the metro Atlanta area. However, none is highly recommended as the award winning Up Top Roofing for your